Brazil went through very difficult times. I think now mainly in terms of products, yes. And Gary was here, and we talked about stabilizing our stock and making local production and so on. But what do you think about the future of Brazil and everybody's coming here? Why Brazil is so important? What do we have that people are looking at us?
First of all, you have a lot of people.
Okay, we are big.
But there is, there's two things that that I think are important in identifying kind of opportunity. And when I look at Brazil, I see the people. They look great. They feel great. They love to look and feel great.
Okay,
You,
okay.
they really do. They take pride in how they feel,
Mm-hmm.
how they look, and it's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they look for things that help them, that support,
Health.
health, energy, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is in their life. But I think they really appreciate good health.
Yes.
And the other thing is there's a lot of entrepreneurs. There's this spirit
Mm-hmm.
here, this entrepreneur spirit in Brazil that exists, which of course is great in this business. And I've seen it ever the first day that I came here. There's people that just really understand, what it means to have their own business. And of course, we've seen that in Forever and what thousands and thousands of Brazilians have been able to do just with the business opportunity that Forever offers.
Yeah. And a lot of our leaders here, mainly, I think all of them, he knows a lot. He knows a lot about you. It's amazing how you remember the stories and not only what happened, but you know them deeply. Like you
Yeah, I
said,
do.
building
I do.
relationship, their motivations and so on. So at this time, what I feel is, and what I see is that they were in a comfort zone before. Not It was not comfort, they were like more waiting what is going to happen to Brazil, see if you guys were going to invest here, and it's clear they are investing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say actions speaks more than
Than words.
speeches.
Yeah.
And you have been here 4 times, and now we have Gary, Holly for the first time, we had Aiden,
And Greg as
Greg
well.
in the beginning of the year. So all you guys are coming. I think even Rhonda wants to come here.
Yeah.
She's the finance and coming back. So now that you know them and you know the situation in Brazil, what kind of advice would you give to these FBOs that are with us for so long and see all this movement that they should do?
I think sometimes there's a couple things. That's a great
Mm.
question. I think sometimes when things aren't going really well, we use excuses, reasons why.
Mhm.
And whether it's on the company side or whether it's personal, and sometimes those excuses, they keep us in a comfort zone because we don't want to maybe challenge ourselves because we're afraid of what that means for us, what we have
Mhm.
to change. And that being said, being in that comfortable zone, I think also what happens is a lot of leaders in Forever are comfortable where they are. They worked and they've got to this point now. And I would just say that, they need to challenge themselves. And I think how you challenge yourself, whether you're you've been in the business for a long time or even a leader in a short time, is to remember kind of those things and those activities you did every single day to build your business. And I think sometimes we forget that. And I was just a couple days ago, I was speaking with an FBO here in Brazil,
Mhm.
and we were talking about that, and he completely agreed that what he's doing today is nothing like what he did to
The
become
past.
successful in the business.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes we use those excuses just to kind of keep us from maybe having to work or you know or maybe we don't really feel, maybe they stop dreaming. Maybe they stop
Mhm.
thinking about, oh well, do I really need more? If you ask them if they want more, they do.
Okay.
But
The effort that
but
you
the
need.
effort, I think it just lacks the effort. We just need to get out and build those relationships. The other thing too is there's a lot of FBOs that have joined the company in the last 30 years here, and maybe have forgotten about this opportunity. And so I think a lot of just connecting with people and connecting with also past FBOs.
And it's so hard when you stop doing something and then you have to come back again
Yeah, it
from the
is.
zero.
It is.
It's like
It's like working out.
yes, I was going
It's
to
like
say
working
that.
out.
And if you stay like 10 days, 15 days without doing any exercise, if you are someone
Yeah.
that usually does, to start again is like, oh, you need so much
Do
energy.
you know how many times I've started to exercise and I'll do it, you do it consistent for like a month and you're like, this is amazing. Why haven't I always done this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that same thing will happen in the business as they engage and they help, and one person and two people and three people are like, oh, this is amazing. I love this feeling. Why didn't I do this a year ago or 2 years ago? And I think it's the same thing.
That's nice. I think that's a nice tip here.
Muscle
Just
memory,
start.
muscle memory.
Yeah, just start, because you're going to feel like, and it's not only about you, it's about the other. Maybe in the
Yes.
beginning you needed the money, you needed to like move on in terms of prosperity, financial things. You are okay, but there is a lot of people that
so
you can
many.
help.
So many.
And this, I think, is going to fulfill,
Yes.
to fuel you
Yeah.
much more than the first time. Like,
Yeah.
yes. So that's nice. Can I move on to a very, it was not in the list.
Absolutely.
Yes, Eagles managers.
Eagle managers.
Okay. So I'm very, very new. I'm a baby here. And it's still a lot of things that I don't understand. And I don't have problems to say that. And you know that I don't know. But I've seen that we recognize a lot Eagles. We have just came from Phuket. And what is necessary to be an eagle, not only in terms of the CCs, but in terms of behavior? What do I have to do? And the second question about eagles, that I see some eagles like for 10 times just eagles, 10 years, and they just don't go to the next step. Why does it happen? And maybe you see this worldwide.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's no different than what we were just talking about being in your comfort zone, about leaders here, maybe after time, how do they get back engaged in the business? As an Eagle manager, first of all, it's, when you think about it, it's an amazing program, because, for the first, 30 years of the business, we didn't have the Eagle manager program. We had what's called a manager. Okay. And a manager is something you do and you qualify over 2 or 3 or 4 months. And then, and you become a manager. Well, what we notice is that people would become a manager, but all of a sudden they had this kind of mentality where, I can just manage my business. Well, that's not what it's about. It's about continued growth. And the great thing about the Eagle Manager program is, as you set, and really that's the purpose, is you set a goal to become an Eagle Manager. Basically, what you're saying is, over 12 months, I'm going to work, and I'm going to build, and I'm going to earn as a manager. Because that's the purpose of being a manager, is to earn more. So over 12 months, you earn as you were a manager. And so not only do you qualify to become an Eagle manager and have this amazing all expense paid trip to, just got back from Thailand. We're going to Sun City, Africa, in South Africa next year. But you've also earned as a manager for 12 months. And so, now why do some not requalify? Is because now they're comfortable earning this and they stop doing what they were doing to qualify. But we're seeing more and more that percentage of FBOs that are requalifying are moving on and are moving up. And we see in growth countries. I shared here on Sunday with the group here, the FBOs, about South Africa, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire in Africa, how, they, between those 3 countries, it's almost, I think, wow, it's like 200 Eagle managers. I mean, the amount of Eagle managers just out of those 3 countries. And, a lot of people don't think there's opportunity in those countries. Well, look at the business. It's remarkable. And the individuals are absolutely remarkable, and identify the need that people have. to whether look, feel, or engage better, or engage in building a business.
With Rafa in his new position now, as sales relationship manager, we are going to talk much more and focus on eagles.
Great.
Because Brazil has a huge
Yes.
potential. I've heard from Israel, from Yuval, that when he started, he had just 3, and now he has 33 with half of CCs that we do here.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I need to have much more. We have about, I think, 16. So it's very, very small if you consider Brazil
Yes.
as huge as it is, no?
Yeah.
So prepare. We are going to be very ego driver here, yes?